So what's our three topics?
Right. What is going on, everybody? It's a late one. We decided it was going to be a late one tonight. As you know, me and James share a passion for the Buffalo Bills, but we also share a passion for the Chicago Bulls. So we're a little late watching the Bulls Knicks overtime game, and unfortunately we lost that one. That's all
Yep.
right. One of our teams is good right now. So
Yeah.
um, obviously, the Bills played the New Jersey Jets on Sunday, and and they got the W, 20-12. Josh Allen still looked a little off. The defense played phenomenal. Dawson Knox went flipping. Josh Allen went flipping, and we flipped the Jets off in Sauce Gardner. And we got a lot to talk about tonight, and we are going to talk about it all. James, what's going on?
Man, what's up, man? It's always a good show when we coming off a W. So how we do, man. We about to turn up tonight, man. Have a good show. Give the people something to talk about.
That's it. And we're going to do that when we come right back. See you in a minute. All right, welcome back. So, as we were saying in the intro, the Buffalo Bills played the New Jersey Jets Sunday. We came out the dub, 20-12. It was a ugly game. It wasn't very pretty at all. But but in the Bills' defense on this topic particularly, the Jets are no slouches, and let's not act like they're not a top five defense in the NFL.
Yeah, that they are. I mean, people just they get stuck on that old it's the Jets thing, but that defense, man, they got some dudes running around on that defense. It's not a bad team, man. Robert Saleh has done a great job with them.
No, he has, and I think too. Especially when you start looking at secondary with the two guys at the bookend corners and DJ Reed, who doesn't get enough credit for how good he is, and obviously Sauce Gardner, who gets all the credit and all the praise. But we also don't talk about Lamarcus Joyner, and they have a former All Pro in the middle of that defense, C.J. Mosley.
Absolutely, he's
So
flying around too. He
right.
back. He back.
Oh yeah, and let's not act like Quinn Williams to get knocked out of that game too. So I
Yo,
mean, Quinn.
that dude, that dude, man.
Just saying, listen, it helped us out a little bit. I'll take it. I don't wish bad health to anybody, but him going out of that game helped the Bills a lot. So we're gonna talk about that game a little bit tonight. We're gonna talk about obviously recap that game just a little bit. We're gonna talk about this big showdown come up with the Dolphins, chance for the Bills to get revenge. Just remember a couple weeks ago, I said specifically that when we get to this game, the trajectory of the Miami Dolphins season may be completely different after that 3 game stretch versus the 49ers, the Chargers, and now us. And guess what? The trajectory of the Miami Dolphins season is totally different.
You was 100% right, JT. You got tickets.
I
You
got
got tickets, JT.
I got
Receipts.
receipts on
Excuse me, receipts. Receipts. You got receipts, man. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely did call it. You called it right out, man. That 3 game stretch. You said it'd be brutal.
It was going to be brutal for him. And now you have to come to Buffalo and possibly 7 inches snow. It's going to be cold. And we have a video of the Dolphins coach, Mike McDaniel, walking around. And we wanted colder t-shirt bopping around like a stork. I don't know what the hell he doing or where he get his swag from, but it ain't it.
Yo, he
Okay.
needed to get in the weight room. He paper thin. He needed to lift some weights or something, man. My man, like
Yeah,
he about $130.
I mean, man, I mean, he may come out there and that wind may take his ass right on the way. You get the wrong gust at a Highmark Stadium Saturday, and Mike McDaniel just go flying like a piece of paper. That's Mike McDaniel just gone, just like that. But we got the video of him, and I respect it. I respect it a little bit, you know what I mean. But I think that a team like the Bills, you don't give bulletin board material to. And I think that's what he's doing. I think that's a mistake of a rookie coach. But we'll talk about that later. Back to this Jets game. What did you see from this game? Josh Allen, not his best game. Started off really, really shaky. 16 to 27, 147 yards, one TD. No interceptions this week. But, obviously he added 10 carries for another 47 yards and a touchdown. We didn't utilize the run game. Stephon Diggs was taken completely out of this game as well. So, like I said, once again, got to give a little kudos to the Jets. And big games from Milano, Johnson, Poyer, Edmonds. And our guy Dane Jackson had a pretty good game, too. I know he's been getting a lot of flack, but he had a solid football game. What did you think? What did you see from it, James?
Oh man, me personally, once again, you found another way to win.
Okay.
This team, I think, is best suited to win the Super Bowl as any of the teams we had in the past few years, because this team, we've seen they're battle tested. They can win a bunch of different ways. Last year team, we weren't confident in them having to be able to run the ball to win it. The ugly wins, we weren't confident in that at all, right? This team has proven they get their hands in the dirt and win any way possible. Whatever it is, what it is. Look at that Baltimore game. We won, look at the last few weeks. We've been winning ugly. They're all not going to be pretty. You want a team to go into the playoffs that's battle tested. And this team is the most battle tested team we've had in recent memory. Where they've weathered the storm. They've been through the trenches. They've been through last season stuff. The core of this team has. So I think that this Jets game was just another story of finding another way to win. People are going to nitpick. This person didn't play well. This person didn't play well. At the end of the day, you saying that after a victory. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about that. The offensive line is finding a way to get it done while still being a little beat up. Yes, indeed. Matt Milano is, he's a beast. He's a beast.
He's gonna be his first Pro Bowl this year, sure.
Yeah, he should be all pro too. Jordan Poyer playing lights out.
Getting healthier by the week, you can tell.
Yeah, he's playing lights out. I love the way the defense is flying around, and every single week, Tremaine Edmonds' price tag is going up and up and up.
Cha-ching. Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna break the pot. You heard me? Yeah, and like it's gonna be his number is crazy. My gut tells me they're gonna franchise tag him, but that's another story. We can get in that another day. But I mean, I like what I seen, and then even. Think about this. We won with Josh Allen not playing well and Stephon Diggs not being a huge factor. That makes our team very dangerous. True. And I don't think people are giving that enough credit. We won without a big day from Josh Allen and not a big day from Stephon Diggs. Man, one more as a Bills fan, should be excited about that.
No, I agree with you. This team is winning multiple ways. Like, obviously, there's a reason when every time we get into a fourth quarter – whether we're on CBS or ESPN or Fox or wherever channel we're on, there's a reason that they show that stat line about the Bills' record in one-score games. And it's because we haven't been able to pull a lot of those games out, and now you're starting to see them grind out those wins. Yep. And we always talk about New England, and we always talk about what the Patriot dynasty was, because that's what everybody likes to achieve. And they were in our division. We saw it firsthand twice a year. Well, one of the things that they did well was grind out wins. They didn't just blow everybody out all the time. And you always say that on the show. NFL is not about blowing people out. It's about getting the dubs in different ways. And I agree. Like I said, we saw last week versus New England a Bills team that was able to run the ball and run the game out. And we hadn't seen that.
Yeah. When the last time, JT, people have been back. See, I don't get a lot of fans, right? It's not all fans, but a lot of fans will be like, we need to run the ball more. When we do run the ball, oh well, we need to get the passing game. I mean, what do you want? You want him to just throw the ball just because? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So it's like catch 22, but it is what it is. These boys, man, they finding ways to win. Let's hope they do it again and really create that separation with Miami, like we really want, because
Yeah.
that created a 3-game gap, right?
Yeah, that's over. It's over at that point. It's done. I mean, at that point, if you hand this L to Miami, they got bigger things to worry about, especially with Tyreek Hill coming into Buffalo with a bum ankle right now. We don't know how severe it is, but we know it's going to be severe for him because that's his speed is his entire game.
Yep, it
You know,
is.
he's not a pure route runner. He's not a guy that's going to go up and get over you a lot. His game is based off speed, and if he's not fully helped, not fully up to speed, it changes who he is as a player, 100%. But either way, back. Listen, we're gonna get to this Dolphin. We're gonna get to this Dolphin talk. Don't you worry. Even if you're a Flipper fan, we'll get to it. No, I thought that this was a defensive game, and I thought that we saw the performance that we've seen from this defense all year. I don't think that this defensive performance against the Jets was that much different from the first time we played them, outside of the late fourth quarter running game that the Jets got that pretty much, helped them drive down the field. I think the biggest thing is we were talking about a couple weeks about who needs to step up in the absence of Von Miller. And obviously when we talked about it a few weeks ago, it was only about for the 4 weeks when we were talking about it, maybe 4 to 5 weeks that he'd be out. Now it's been relieving. You were right. I got to say, you were right about this. So we didn't say it on air, but you said it on the phone call about, hey, there's a lot of things that go wrong with knee injuries. And you don't always find the problem at first. It's on you in there. And as soon as Sean McDermott said in his press conference, exploratory surgery. And they found it that he tore. I don't know. I don't think he fully tore it because I think we saw that in general, at least partially. He's done for season now.
Yep.
But the Bills came up big. You got 4 sacks. You got 2 from Rousseau. You got 1 from Shaq Lawson. Once again, that Shaq Lawson pickup, and I said it on Twitter a while back, that may end up being one of the most valuable, least expensive pickups that you're going to have. And that pickup is paying huge dividends.
One
right
up
now.
you, JT. You said
What
it
you got?
last year going into the playoffs that we needed to sign Shaq Lawson, get him rolling for next year. You
Never
called it
see.
last year because he
Yeah.
got released week 17. And you called it.
And we thought he was going to get back, and I'm like, yeah, they're not going to bring him back right now because it's too late in the season. And when I did my mock for the offseason, what the Bills were going to do to create cap space, I specifically put on there, sign Shaq Lawson to a 1-year deal.
Yep.
And now I think that Shaq Lawson's earning himself a 2-year deal after the season. He's just different, man. He's different in Buffalo.
And you know what? And we'll get to this. And I tell you all the time as a pro athlete, sometimes the money ain't even worth it. It's more about sometimes you're just comfortable somewhere. You're going to play where you better off taking less and playing for 8 years instead of taking more and playing for 3 because you're comfortable somewhere. Cole Beasley, Shaq Lawson, Jordan Phillips, John Brown. But we'll get into all of that.
Yeah. Just answer Jason Stroud's question real quick. Von Miller, yes, same leg. Same leg on that injury. But no, so I mean, like I said, obviously this game was a defensive game. The Bills defense came to play. They held the Jets out. Obviously the Jets are still searching for a quarterback. And shout out to Mike White too, man. Like I said, I like to give credit when it's due. That's a tough ass kid. Because I tell you what, if a grown man hit me like Matt Milano hit him, not only I'm not getting back up, I am going to sue you. Let a grown man hit me like Matt Milano hit it. And it was clean as clean can get. I'm suing you. It looked like an Acme Acres cartoon with an anvil going through Wild E. Coyote or something. There ain't no damn way. That would have been my last time touching a football field. I get hit in my ribs and stomach like that. He folded like a chair.
He did.
Yeah, Goldberg spear. Yes, a Goldberg, an Edge, a Roman Reigns.
We should have played the Goldberg music.
Yeah, man, ain't no way, bro. Nah, they should play the Undertaker music when he got back up. So Paul Bear somewhere with that urn. Oh, no way. No way. And remember Mookie used to call Matt Milano ankle. Remember, he used to call him
Ankle
ankle
bite.
biter. He's gotten away from the ankle bite. And Mookie was right, though, when he called him that. He wasn't
Yeah,
lying. He,
that dude is short tackler.
yeah, he is now. Putting people on carts.
Yeah,
But no, man. As far as the offense goes, I thought that once again I was disappointed, and I was disappointed once again because in that type of weather, I thought that was a game that we would utilize a run, and it's not like the run wasn't effective. Obviously, Devin Singletary had 8 carries in this game for 39 yards. He was averaging 4.9 yards a carry. Isaiah McKenzie added 1 carry for 7 yards. Cook wasn't getting going, 4 for 6. But like I said before, James Cook is the type of guy where if you gave him 10 carries, 8 of those carries may be for 2 yards. But that one may be for that 30 to 40.
yep.
And I mean that's what's gonna make him special in this league for a long time. Because he's gonna have 1 or 2 of those a game that's gonna make him special.
Yep.
And once again, a epic failure of the Buffalo Bills to get Nyheim Hines involved in this game. 1 carry for 3 yards, 1 catch for 4 yards on 1 target. But he did have the big punt return to change the field.
I just don't think he was brought here for that right now. I just don't. And I told you we were going to lose games because of our return game. That's why he's going to have a bigger role next year. Initially, he was brought here to bring the return game to life. That's
God,
why.
I hope so, man. But it's this thing, and we'll talk more about Nyheim Hines with the Cole Beasley because to me he ties into Cole Beasley. I just don't get it. Like you have a guy like that, and I just don't see why we can't get him involved. Like, and when he comes in the game and he goes in the slot, and I was talking to Anthony Fair about this earlier, right? I know what's coming. If I see Nyheim Hines lined up in the slot, here comes this jet sweep. Now, mind you, he ain't been here long, so he's probably still getting acclimated to the playbook. They're probably still getting acclimated to him as a player, but you got to find a way to get the ball. The guy, he should be getting at least 4 or 5 times a game right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And somehow, someway, just give me 4 or 5 times. That's all.
But I just don't think he was brought here for that. Even when they traded for him, I told you, first thing I thought of, dude, that's because we was going to lose games because of the returners. The returners that was bad. So that's why they made that trade and then bring him. He gonna have a bigger role next year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hope so because I mean, obviously we know we pay for special teams, but $3 million is a hefty price tag for just a returner. But obviously, when you really look at it, we pay $3 to $4 million for Saran Neal. We pay $3 million for Ty Matakevich. We invest in special teams. Boy, I just think this is a guy that could be utilized better as a weapon.
I agree there, but I don't think $3 or $4 million is a lot when you can lose a game because of it. So it's not.
Yeah.
You can literally lose a game. A muffed punt can lose you a game.
Speaking of Jaquan Johnson's of the world right now, he almost he got that punt blocked, and he almost got another one blocked.
Yeah, he gone next year. He won't be here.
No, he's gonna put him on the list. Keep this receipt, people. He won't be here at all. Well, no, he'll be here through camp. He's gonna be a camp cut.
Yeah, he won't be final 53.
No. So, if you can't cover and then you can't block on special teams, you don't have a position here.
Yeah.
So, I actually want to go back to that Pittsburgh punt last year one day this week and see was he the one that let the Pittsburgh block up?
Yeah, I remember I talked about it. It
was a double thump. What you said?
A double thud. You don't want to hear that
Double
noise.
thud.
If you're a special teams guy, doom doom. Your heart drop. Listen, to this day, I hear it on TV. My brother, like, I hear it. I just hear doom doom. Like PTSD. Like you, like whoa.
Yeah. But back. We want to talk about Josh Allen a little bit here. Obviously, Josh started this game off. He was he was out of control at the beginning of this game. There was a lot of balls that were like sail out of bounds. I know one ball, I think it was to Gabe Davis, and the ball went like way over his head into the sideline. We're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But obviously, he settled in. He took his couple hits in the beginning, I think, to get himself going on his QB run. But not the greatest game for him, but he didn't do anything to cost us a game. We converted in the red zone. We didn't turn it over. And like I said, once again, want to give credit to the Jets defense. That's a top 5 defense in the NFL, whether you want to believe it or not. It is not the same old Jets.
Yep.
What do you think about Allen in this game, man?
Yeah, I think that he's still trying to find that rhythm. He's in a rough patch right now, but I think he'll be okay. He definitely was out of rhythm. He needed to get back and just get into a flow, and we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, later on in the show. I think it's more about just getting into a flow, but his teammates have to help him as well.
Yeah.
It was some plays and things that we looked at, and it's like some of his teammates letting him down in certain spots. But I love what he's doing. He's being a leader. He's just taking it on the chin. He's not saying, well, this guy ran the wrong route or this guy did this. He's not. He's just taking it on the chin.
If he's anything like Aaron Rodgers, and hopefully he's not, it won't come to you around 32. Don't you worry. He won't get bitter and angry until that age. But no, I just think that, once again, I don't think this game was his inability to utilize the middle of the field as much as the other ones, because I think the Jets took away the middle of the field this one. And Mosley is not necessarily a guy that you want to be trying to pick on. And honestly, Quincy Williams is athletic as hell. Quentin Williams' brother. They said this was a very good defense, and they were getting pressure on Josh with just their front four.
Yeah, because they good. They good.
They're good. They're good. If they find a quarterback, watch out. But no, I thought that second half he was a lot better. Obviously, it's not the performance that fans want to see. And like I said, I think it goes back to people thinking that the Jets are just the same old Jets and that we should just run over them. And honestly, to be honest with you, we really ain't ran over the Jets in 3 years. There's been a game a year that they've almost won each time. Usually the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second one, we usually kind of steamroll them. Or we're not playing for anything, and we sit everybody and they get the dub. It's true. I mean, that's what happened the other year. But I like the fact that he didn't try to force the ball to Stephon Diggs this game. I feel like in some games that he forced it, Stephon only got 5 targets. I love the fact, and I'll say this again, I absolutely love the fact that Dawson Knox got 7 targets. 4 for 41, 7 targets. We just on the show the week. Listen, I'm not looking for Travis Kelce type production from him. I'm looking for that 5 to 60, that 4 for 45, 4 for 50 if we can. At least 4 for 50.
Yep.
Or 4 for 40, show me that you're there. If you can do that, I'm cool with it. I got that from him this game. But once again, I go back to the lack of a run game. If I had to give his performance a grade, it's going to be a C. Because once again, a lack of a run game. I still don't understand throwing the ball 27 times when it's not working necessarily and you're not losing a game in conditions like that, wind and rain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, man. I expected us to run the ball a little bit more. But like I said, at the end of the day, whatever we could do to get that dub, man, I'll give it a B. Whatever we can do to get that dub.
What do you think about these players leaping over people? Now that Cindy mentions that.
I mean, you leave your feet, leave at your own risk. Because once you leave your feet, somebody can split your cantaloupe. And I mean, listen. Somebody hit you the wrong way, you get to tossing, turning, and
yeah, I mean, look at Josh. He went full helicopter mode, man, and that's scary because dude, you land on your arm. He landed on his right arm. He landed on that arm that's hurt already. I'm like, bro, like, no, man, you got to stop. We lose you and the season over,
basically.
So, I would like to see him not do that too much more because people are catching on to it. And somebody's going to be waiting for it at some point.
Yeah.
So, actually, here we go. Jason Stroud got a question for you, Mal. He said, Mal, what do you think about these damn drops? Whether they're focus issues, they're a fix.
A lot of times it gets in your head. Right now, Gabe Davis is in his own head.
Oh, yeah.
You
think it's contract pressure?
I think it's just performance, just to perform. You know what I'm saying? Now he's that guy. Last year we had Emmanuel Sanders, even though he was hurt sometimes. He's that other guy. He's that guy. Like when you come in the game, you got to sometimes it's pressure. And I don't think I think he's built for the pressure. But at the same time, so you have a few drops, it can start to play mind games with you. We got to clean it up. Period. It is a fix, and it's just focus. I think it's focus. I don't think it's weather. I think it's just focus.
I think Josh they try to get him the ball early. Like I said, bubble screen, something like that. Get in the hand. Let me take the hit real quick. I think that's the fix. Getting it to him often and getting to him early.
Yeah, it could be. I think
we're gonna get to this question a little later. Cause I know you've been saying this for a couple weeks now. We'll get to that question. That's a good question. Does Bease back make McKenzie inactive? I know you've been talking about that for a couple weeks. But overall, before we move on to this Dolphins Bills games, I'm very ecstatic about the performance of this defense as everybody's starting to come back and be healthy, even without Von Miller. These guys are flying around the ball. I'm just in love with Tremaine Edmonds in the pass coverage game. He's reading everything and he's reacting. And this is the best version of Tremaine Edmonds we've seen since he come into the league. And I think this is the version of Tremaine Edmonds that Beane and McDermott knew they were getting. And not that he's played bad, but this right here, this is damn near an all-pro level of Tremaine Edmonds.
What you said? We got receipts.
We got receipts.
What I tell you? I said it 2 years ago. I said they might as well just lock up Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, because they know you want them earlier the better. They re-up Josh a little later than I thought, a little bit later than I thought. And then obviously look at Tremaine. If they sort of did that to begin with, extending them there, we'd be talking about how much of a steal was, like Matt Milano.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate. Like I said, we're gonna return. We're gonna pay. We have to pay for it now. We have to pay for it now. Is he taking, if he doing one of your moves where he say, "Hey, take a little bit less money to stay in a comfortable situation"? We'll see. Overall, just how far back do you think the Jets are away from us? Because they beat us once, and this one was a dogfight.
To me, they the second best team in the conference still, on the division still. They the ones who scare me, and they quarterback. They're not gonna be able to be on our level until they get a quarterback who can bring it. So that depends on the quarterback development, the quarterback situation, their development there. So it all depends on what they got there.
Robert Saleh made an interesting comment after that game. Said they're gonna see us again. You think
Good
so?
confidence. Yeah, they will next year. They'll be here next year. We'll play them twice next year.
I don't think that's what he was talking about, man. I think he was referencing the lofts.
We'll see. They need to get there. We do too. But they need to get there.
I mean, they 7-6 right now. They're right on the cusp. You know what I mean? And the Patriots is right on them. So I don't think we're gonna see them again until next year, personally.
Yeah.
But if we did see them again, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing them again, personally. I think that upper hand is us. I mean, we're still big brother. You play us 3 times in the season, you beat us once. I think the third time, as they say, man, we're going to get at you. We're going to get at you that third time. We're going to show you what big brother's about.
Yeah.
So, and overall, I'm glad the Bills got this dub. It was a revenge. Now we're 2-2 in the AFC East, so we can relax on that. We have a little 2-game lead on the Miami Dolphins, 3-game lead over the Jets, 3-game lead over the Patriots, with the game relating with one game obviously against Miami this week and one game versus New England. So we may finish the AFC East 4-2 after dropping the first 2 games that honestly could have been wins. We could have went 6-0 in the AFC East this year. We didn't. Some will argue that it's probably better for us that we're not. I know you will. You say, hey, you don't want to peak that early. You want to go through those bumps early or through the middle of the season and not at the end. So
let's sort it out. Yeah, let's make those errors. Let's sort it out now.
So now, obviously, in other news this week, if you guys haven't seen, the Bills brought back a familiar face in one Cole Beasley. I'm not gonna lie. So when this happened, I was very upset. If you've been following this podcast and this show this season, you guys know how much this. Let me word this correctly, because I don't want to offend nobody. We did have a guy that offended women the other day, and he no longer has a job anywhere. Not even gonna say his name, so I have to hear what you say. And by the way, this is a disclaimer. At the It's Not Personal, Just Bills podcast, we support the opinion of all women. Bring them all. Just saying. we treat you equally as fans.
Hey, if you want to talk football, come talk football with us. We don't care. We talking football. We love it. We love it.
That's it, man. We do aprons and chalkboards are cool with us.
Listen, some women have fact checked me a couple times on here. So
absolutely. So
it's all love.
Mm-hmm. Aprons and chalkboards, and sometimes the men wear the aprons too.
I love to cook, man.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
I'll make a mean steak.
That's what I'm saying. Right? Aprons and chalkboard for men and women. Let's get it. So either way, right? I was very unhappy with this at first. If you were in our group chat, you could tell how happy I was. I was unhappy at the fact that the way Cole Beasley left Buffalo and he continued to talk about the organization as if this organization didn't show him more love than he got in Dallas the years he was there. I felt like he spit in the face of Bills Mafia. And I also feel like he spit in the face of Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane, who brought him here, paid him a pretty penny, and made him an integral part of the offense. And I get why he was upset about, obviously, the vax and everything like that. And as I said plenty of times before, I will never get mad at a man, female, or any individual who doesn't want to put something in their body that they're unsure of. Never had an issue with that. But what I did have an issue with is I felt like, and I think I don't even feel like it. I know, and I think we can all agree on this. He intentionally was being disruptive and being a distraction in a Super Bowl possible year for the Bills last season. And that rubbed me the wrong way then, and it still rubs me the wrong way now, because it'd be different if this team was 5-7 or a mediocre team or a team you thought was going to make the playoffs, be one and done. We weren't. We were a Super Bowl contender, and I felt like he was intentionally being an quote unquote, excuse my words, an asshole because of something that the Bills couldn't control. New York State sets the laws. The NFL sets the laws. The Bills have to follow. Buffalo couldn't do nothing. So why were you taking your anger and your frustration? And I get your anger and frustration that you can't live your life in a normal capacity that you would like to. I think we all felt that way. But the Buffalo Bills organization didn't deserve that. So when he first made the move, I was very unhappy with it, and I cussed up a storm. But, and I think I said in the group chat, that a-hole owes Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott an apology. And today we got one. He did apologize for the way he left. And then I said, okay, a calm just came over me. I'm all for forgiving people, okay? A calm came over me, and I said, okay, he's apologized. They brought the issue, and they said they're resolved. And I actually want to get your opinion on this, because there's three things that struck me about this whole situation after they signed him. First, it was shockwaves. Then they said, okay, they had to ask the team if it was okay to bring him back. And the third thing was, now that they're resolved. And the fourth thing was that he apologized. This was something major that was going on with him last year then.
Depends.
From his teammate standpoint, they probably didn't care. It is what it is, right? But from an organizational standpoint, this was something bad going
on. We'll never know the true answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
All we could do is speculate. For me, I don't think it was a big deal in the locker room, because if it was a big deal in the locker room, I don't even think we'd be talking about him right now.
Right.
Because I don't even think they would have brought him back. it wouldn't even been a discussion. I think the door would have been closed. It's a wrap. I love the fact that they are bringing him back because a lot of times you'll hear one side of things, right? You'll hear the player venting when he's pissed.
Right.
Newsflash: every player isn't treated fairly, so he probably was mistreated and handled wrong. And he is. It's his opinion. It's his view. Only he could tell you how he's treated, right?
Right.
We don't know. And whenever that happens, immediately people say, "Oh, the player's wrong." Maybe he was treated bad. Maybe Bean owed him an apology too. For whatever may have happened. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, they said resolved. They said resolved.
Yeah.
Which normally includes two parties.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. There was some stuff going on both ways. It's the reason why he's brought back. If he was all wrong, he wouldn't be here. There's stuff they did wrong in there, and we'll never know. Because they do a great job of keeping everything in-house, which is I love it. I love that. Yeah. Great job, Bills. But I love the fact they're bringing him back, giving him an opportunity. I think John Brown and him can help us down the stretch because McKenzie ain't it. He's the other. He's another. That's it. It is. It is what it is. He's another.
We gotta talk about him. All right. I agree with you on Cole Beasley. I still think that it's 70%, at least 70% Cole Beasley's issues. But if the bill say it's resolved, he apologized, I'm cool with it now. Now JTM is okay that Cole Beasley is back in the Bills uniform. I'm okay with it partially because Josh asked for him. Not only did Josh ask for him and John Brown. And I want to talk about that a little bit too, because that's very interesting that he asked for both of these guys to come back. And that's more interesting not from a John Brown or Cole Beasley standpoint, but more interesting from a Khalil Shakir, Isaiah McKenzie, and whoever else they feel out there standpoint for me. I get your point, right? About we'll never know the true story and that maybe they did some things wrong or they treated him differently. He wasn't treated like other players. Well, I know he wasn't treated like other players because the rules were set up by the NFL in New York State to treat people differently. I think we can all agree on that. If you were unvaccinated, the rules and the laws and the bylaws were set up for you to be treated differently and I almost feel like to make you feel like an outsider. It was set up that way. It was designed that way.
Yeah.
But that's where I say the Bills had no control over that. They happened to play in New York State. They played in maybe Texas or Florida. Maybe he didn't have the same bylaws. The fact that he had to sit at the lunch table, I think it was by himself or something like that. Or certain distance and certain things he had to do by himself because he was unvaccinated. That wasn't set up by the Bills. I don't think Sean McDermott or Brandon Beane would ever treat any individual like that. They were one of the most diverse teams in the league. That was set up by the NFL. They didn't have any control over that. But I also understand his point of being frustrated. I just think that he directed it at the wrong people. And you can't tell the Bills to go against the league. You can't do it. It doesn't work that way. We saw what happened with the Titans when they went against the league. Look how much they got fined. So, either way, I'm going to wash my hands with it. Bygones are bygones. Come on in for a hug, Cole. Come on. I've called you idiot. I called you moron. I'll apologize to you too because I feel like your apology to the Bills Mafia I'm a part of that. So I'll accept it and I'm gonna give you a hug. Air hug, bro. Air hug. Okay, we good now. So now let's talk about his fit in this offense. Allen asked for him. He's back. Is he the spark for the offense? Why do you think Allen asked for him back specifically? Outside of Isaiah McKenzie being the most inconsistent receiver on the planet.
He's consistent.
Key word.
He's reliable. He's just consistent, reliable. He's smart. Shorthand too. Very rarely did we see him drop a ball.
True.
So I think that's something that Josh Allen trusts him. I mean, let's be real. John Brown and Cole Beasley helped make Josh Allen a star.
Correct.
I mean, obviously Stephon did. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
those
start.
two,
Right.
when we signed those two, that jump started a lot. Newsflash: John Brown can still run. He can still
Yeah.
run. People say, "Oh, I think he lost a step." That dude can still fly. Um, and then Cole Beasley. I'm gonna make a prediction at the end of the when we do our thing at the end. Our predictions at the end. But man, I think he can be that spark. I really do think he can be that spark. And I think this is. I said it a few weeks ago. Isaiah McKenzie is going to be healthy and active soon. It is coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So, as far as the spark for the offense, I'm going to say he could be partially a spark. I think the combo of having two veteran receivers that Josh is comfortable with, Cole Beasley and John Brown possibly both being activated and being number 4 and 5 receivers, I think as a whole, that's going to be a spark, right?
Yep.
The only aspect I don't like about this is I love having our franchise quarterback give us input because you have to in this league. You have to be able to build around your franchise quarterback. You have to be able to communicate with them.
That means you have a franchise quarterback.
Correct. But there's been times where we've seen that when you have a franchise quarterback and the communication is off, how fast things can disintegrate.
Yeah.
Look at Green Bay. If you want a prime example, right? The only aspect I don't like is I do feel like Josh is given a little too much input. And the reason I say is this. He's still growing as a player. I think maybe they need to yield back a little bit of input. And what I mean by that is when people say, what do you mean by the input? I mean, Josh right now is pretty much dictating the running game. He's pretty much dictating what we're running our practice session times. And he's dictating the personnel moves. I don't have a problem with some of the personnel moves. If he's the quarterback, as long as he ain't trying to pick the cornerbacks and safeties, and he's picking up receivers and tight ends, I'm okay with that. Now, I didn't like the fact that he put his influence out there on the Dawson Knox contract extension because I do believe, like you, James, that extension should have went to Tremaine Edmonds first. I think a lot of times when you're doing these extensions, you try to bounce back and forth. Offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, defense. They kind of keep in balance. Now, I'll kind of agree with the Knox extension a little bit over Tremaine because you did sign the Von Miller contract. So that counts as a defensive one, right? But end of the day, I don't know. I'll let that one go. I'm just thinking maybe he's putting a little bit too much on his plate right now. We need him just worry about playing football. We need him to just be that dude he is. And I don't mind. This dude has 37 Wonderlic? He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
He ain't dumb by any means. I'm okay if you want to give him 3 plays in the huddle to call. I just think that we need to yield it back a little bit. Ken Dorsey used to say, hey, sometimes, Josh, we're running the ball this series. This series we're going to establish the run. This is what we're doing. That it's going to be his best friend. I was talking to Anthony Farrell about John Elway and how early on in his career he did everything for his team. He made a couple Super Bowls. But when they took away John, you took away the W's. And it just happened to come in the Super Bowls, and it came in a really bad way. But towards the end of his career, and he got Terrell Davis. He let Terrell eat, and he got him two of these.
Yep.
I think Josh needs to look at that as well. But as far as Beasley goes, man, if Josh feels like this is his third down guy, by all means, I'm all for it. The only aspect I don't like about this is I don't feel like you ever really truly tried to develop a killer Shakir.
I disagree there.
Okay.
Because when you're a fifth round picks are rarely play a big role in the offense. And they usually brought it along slowly and develop. That means there's something missing there where you got to develop. That don't mean you're not going to be a star. Look at Antonio Brown. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't look at it that way. I don't. Because he's a fifth round pick. Now, next year, I want to see that progress where we start trusting him and putting him in there. This year, Him being active is enough for me because that means that he's performing. He's earned a spot and he's out there. So that right there is okay for me right now.
The other aspect is, and maybe Cole Beasley actually helped us. We haven't got Nyheim Hines involved in the passing game yet, enough yet. Now, and I agree with you when I say I said it just like you. I agree with you when you said it before. Nyheim Hines was here mainly for returns and to flip the field and to give us that aspect that we haven't had since Andre Roberts departed.
Yep.
We saw that this game with that return against the Jets that flipped the field. Because them go down the field and score on that drive. But we have to get players like him involved. And like I said, Dorsey has to force that a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's because Josh isn't comfortable with him yet. They're still learning each other. They've only known each other for 3 weeks, essentially.
Yeah.
So we got to force that a little bit. Hey, we're gonna get Hines the ball here, and I don't mean put him in a slot and give him the jet sweep where everybody in the defense and TV knows that it's coming. I mean, getting involved in the passing game, designing a bubble screen for him, anything. Let's get him comfortable with Josh. Hey, Josh, I'm Nyheim Hines. Nice to meet you. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So maybe Cole Beasley helps that. But overall, I mean, if this is what Josh wants, that's fine. But I agree with Thad Brown as well. We don't know what Cole Beasley has left in the tank. When he was with the Bucks, he didn't look juiced. He didn't like he had any juice. But let's go back to Shaq Lawson. Shaq Lawson like he had any juice with the Dolphins. He like he had any juice with the Jets. He like he had any juice with the Texans. Now he's back in Buffalo. And guess what? We got some juice.
Yeah. And I mean, he's a zone beater, not a man beater anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All he got to do is be crafty, get open, get the ball, get upfield. He don't have to be. He's not a man beater. We don't have a man beater or a zone beater on this team at the receiver position. Outside of Stephon Diggs, he do it all. We don't have a zone beater. We got one now.
How
Isaiah
important?
McKinnon's a man beater.
Crossing routes.
Yeah, he gonna outrun people. He's not crafty and sitting in no.
Shit. I tell you what, he better outrun that inactive list.
I don't know if he can outrun that.
Because it's gaining on him, man. that inactive list, and I know Jason Stroud asked that question earlier, and we answered it now. That inactive list is chasing him down like DK Metcalf chased Buda Baker.
It is. It's on the way. He better step it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Man, AK Cash says, speaking of juice, you guys talk about. I mean, yeah, we hit on Edmonds. We didn't miss. We will not miss giving Edmonds praise. Since the Pat said dude is playing at a different level. Absolutely. Looking like a franchise linebacker. Kent Harvey says, love the Shaq. Absolutely. Shaq Lawson is playing huge big dividends. Major Cole asks, so with the new addition receiver, who gets the most playing time? Oh, it's gonna be those three.
I think Shakir actually gonna get more reps. I think that Cole Beasley or John Brown, whatever one is active, is gonna get good reps. But I think Shakir rep count is gonna go up.
Mm-hmm.
But when Cole Beasley or John Brown is in the game, they'll be targeted though, if that makes sense.
And our homegirl Cindy Martine Jackson, by the way, a woman who knows football. Okay, we're gonna spend the next couple of weeks just highlighting women who know football. So we thank you, Cindy, for your input. You're not a wannabe. Said that Allen said that he analyzes the defense like a quarterback. What does that mean, James?
Talking about Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley. I just want you to break it down.
Because he's a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He was a quarterback in high school. He was a quarterback most of his life. So guess what? So how he view everything, he see it as a quarterback. And that's how he's able to dissect it, find that open spot, find that sweet spot, catch the ball, get a feel.
That's it. So I'm glad to have the guy back. Pretty much right now what we're saying is we're getting ready to go against the Chiefs. We brought back John Brown, who's seen the Chiefs multiple times with us. We brought Cole Beasley back, who's seen the Chiefs almost every time outside the regular season time, outside the regular season game this week.
Wait, we didn't have John Wait, we didn't have John Brown last year for them, did we?
Mm-mm. Not last year, the year before.
Yeah, so he missed the 13-second game. He
He
wasn't
missed
one.
the 13. He played the other, was it 2 or 3 games before? Cause we played them in the rain in Buffalo. Then we went to AFC Championship. He was there for those 2 games that we lost.
Okay.
And then he wasn't there for when we beat him in the regular season last year, and he wasn't there for the 13-second.
Because he was elsewhere last season.
Right. But
Yeah.
he's seen him. He's been there.
Yeah, but I'm just making sure because
Yeah.
he could have been the difference, is what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah. So he's there. So we've got guys. So pretty much what we're telling the Chiefs is we don't have Von Miller, which is we wouldn't have Von Miller for this game. We're gonna run it back. We're minus Von right now, and we're minus Micah, possibly. But you're minus Tyreek Hill. We ready to run that back. Only difference is on our side of the ball, we got more experience than these young kids who didn't have the experience we played y'all before. And the confidence is through the roof.
Yeah.
So, and right now we got number 1 seed. We hold on to that, and guess what? That game's in Buffalo if we meet them again. Because we know it could be the Bengals, be anybody right now the way this season's going.
Yep.
But no, more importantly, like I said, I'm glad to welcome Cole Beasley back, and we'll see what he got. You think he's playing this weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And be on point. Jamison Crowder may be back.
Yeah. I said maybe all hands on deck, man. So, like I said, for everything that the defense is giving us being kind of slim at times, the offense is going to be extremely healthy. And they need to go ahead and put that 28-30 that we're looking for.
Let's get it.
Period. So back to this Dolphins game that's coming up next. And the Dolphins head coach, Mike McDaniel, he's walking around with a t-shirt. And I love the confidence, right? Anything to motivate my team. He's a young coach. I actually like Mike McDaniel. I know a lot of people that say him. I like him. I like the fact how he addressed Tua when he got there, how he's trying to motivate him, how he's bringing these guys in that he's comfortable with. I love to see coaches bring guys in from their other teams that they're comfortable with to install their culture in the system. We saw Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane do it here. He's doing that there with guys like Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and things like and players like that. But man, I don't know, bruh. I don't know what this is. Like I really don't. I don't know what that is, bro. The shirt says we want it colder. Okay.
Well, that looks like somebody is trying to pump some hot air into his team. So you got to face reality. You can wear a shirt all you want. That cold air is that cold air. So you got to be ready to swim in that water, so to say. You want to say that? You just wrote a check. Your behind better be able to cash come Sunday or Saturday at 8 p.m.
I mean, that's bulletin board material. So you know how the Bills responded, right? I don't know if you heard how they're thinking about doing now. So know the Bills are thinking about, and I don't know if you guys are aware of the rules. If you put heaters on your sideline and your opponent has heaters, right? If you turn your heaters on, then they also can turn their heaters on. If you choose not to turn your heaters on as the home team, they can't turn their heaters on. So the Bills are thinking about not turning the heaters on this week. Fair game, right? We had a 108-degree sideline in Miami, right?
Yeah. So
fair game.
Ooh, that'd be brutal for them. But hey, karma's a mother.
So first of all, I don't listen. I just don't think you coming off 2 games lost. I think this is the time you buckle down. You don't say nothing. When Buffalo went through their stretches the last couple of years where we've had 3 back-to-back losses, things like that, but the Bills go into, as I call it, mute mode. Nothing in, nothing out. We not saying nothing. We refocusing. It's not playtime. When I see something like this, first of all, like I said, once again, I'm gonna analyze this walk. I don't know what that is. It looked like somebody daddy about to do a TikTok dance and about to totally screw it up. If I had a name for it, I would call it the pigeon walk. I don't know what this is. As you said earlier, he looks all but 130 pounds, and if you get the wrong gust of wind in the wrong direction at stadiums on Saturday, he may just flutter away. Mike McDaniel gone. And injury report, halftime. Mike McDaniel flew away. I don't know what that is. But I can tell you this. It's idiotic. This team is already motivated to beat you because you handed them a loss. And we know how this particular Bills team is coached and how they could respond to teams that beat them previously, especially in the AFC East. And you may be fighting for your playoff line, and you do that.
Not smart, my brother.
Very rookie mistake. And I think he's going to, and his team is going to pay dearly. And let's not to mention, it's going to be like 20 degrees possibly, and Tyreek Hill has a bum ankle now. So you thought this was the perfect time? You see that eye? This was the perfect time. Wasn't too bright. Good luck to you, sir.
You said it all. It's
stupid.
See you Saturday night.
That is all you can say as a Bills fan. Oh, yeah? See you Saturday night. We saw the Patriots last year. That playoff game. Don't worry. We gonna see you again. And next time we see you, we're gonna send you a message. So I thought it was idiotic, man. I thought it was pretty stupid. And I hope the Bills don't turn the heaters off. I don't think you'll need to turn the heaters off to beat them. I also think that Josh has said something about being cold in circulation. I don't I will leave them heaters on. I'm sorry. No, that's the I'm gonna leave the heat. What are you? Would you turn them on or leave them off?
Let me think here. It takes a lot for me to get cold, so I wouldn't care if they was off. Like it takes a lot for me to get cold, but I put it on for them and then I dog them.
Turn it off.
Now I'll keep it on for them. I would.
I keep it on. They gonna be cold regardless. I mean, they live in Miami. They play in Miami. Anything under 40 degrees. I mean, they had heaters on in LA and it was 55 degrees this past game. So they're gonna be cold. They're gonna be cold regardless. So no, man. I can't wait to this game. I'm just so happy that as a competitor that we have some competitive AFC East games. Because we went through a stretch of 20 years where, it was you had only two teams that were really competitive, and one team was really superior to the rest, which was most of the time New England. And we saw last year the Bills were superior to all of them. And I still think we're superior, but it's fun having a division where all four teams are winning.
Dude, it's awesome because every week you don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. You don't know. New England can knock off anybody. The Jets can knock off anybody. We got to stay on our toes. It's not like, we only play this. No, that's how we love it. We love it.
And I think, too, as we get ready to go into playoffs, these tougher games, especially these tough divisional games, it gets you ready.
Battle tested. That's why I'm excited. Yeah. We battle tested.
Yeah. But overall, I do love the fact that, we've played these teams where the Patriots season was dwindling, right? And it's not over, but we put them in a hole by beating them on their home field on a primetime game. Then the Jets start falling. Well, we're going to kick you while you're down. You thought you were a number one seed at one point, because they were a number one seed at one point. You thought you were a guaranteed playoff team. Well, now we're going to put you in flux. And now we have this opportunity to give the Dolphins their third loss in a row and bring them down to earth and say it's not that easy.
Yep.
You don't just go out there, make a couple trades, and sign some people on free agency, and think you're just gonna win. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. The game of football does not. It has never worked that way.
Miami has traded a lot of their picks, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, shelled out a lot of money between Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, Xavier. Those guys are locked up in deals. So if this ain't it, you don't have the flexibility to fix it. And we have the chance on Saturday night to put our foot on their throats and say, you got us early, but we got you when it was important. And that's what New England did for years.
Yep.
You got us early. You got us in the first 5, 6, maybe 7 weeks of the season. You got us one time. But when it's week 15, week 16, week 17, and you need this game,
we got it. We'll handle that.
We got you. We got you. Last laughs on you. We get the last laugh. So, man, I'm excited. You got a score prediction for this game?
Predictions.
Okay. Yeah, multiple predictions. Yeah. What you got?
Devin Singletary, over 65 yards.
Okay.
James Cook, over 50 yards.
Oh, I love the sound of that.
Also, I'm going Cole Beasley, 8 catches.
Okay. Someone else said
I want to say 6 catches for 75 yards.
Mm-hmm. Going 8. How many of those third downs?
6.
6?
No, let's go this. 6 for 55 yards.
655. Okay, I got Jason Stroud says 6 catches for 68 yards. So he's
I like that, Jason.
Mm-hmm. Jason 68. So I like that prediction. I think that's actually very fair. Because Josh gonna go into him often early.
Greg Rousseau will get a sack.
That'd be what, number 8? Number 8 in the season?
Where he at?
He's at 7. He's at 7. So it'll be number 8.
Oh, my score.
Okay. You score yet?
35-13.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go 31-14. If I have the game prediction, I am going to say I'm gonna say Gabe Davis goes over 100 yards this game.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm gonna say Gabe Davis goes over 100 yards this game. I'm gonna say that Buffalo holds the Dolphins to under 200 yards total offense in this one.
Ooh. Okay.
I think they're going to make a statement, and I think that Mike McDaniel's shirt and his lack of what you would call swag just played a big factor into that. The Bills didn't need any more motivation for this game besides being number 1 seed, besides the fact this team beat them earlier, and you just gave them more. So, I'm going to say the defense has 5 sacks total. So those are my 3 predictions. Dolphins under 200 yards offense, 31-14. Gabe Davis 100 yards. The defense has 5 sacks total.
Okay.
So
let's get it.
That's it. Other than that, I mean, you got anything else tonight? I mean, I'm trying to think. Do we miss anything?
Nah. My UAS team, Travel 7-on-17, started practice last week. We getting it in. We back at it again this week. Okay. Y'all got any questions? UASnation.org. Don't sleep on it. Be on it.
You know, we missed one question. Dane, the guy Ray Cruz. We have talked about Dane Jackson need to get benched. Thoughts? My thought is, I don't think he needs to get benched. If you really go look at the numbers, his numbers were better than Benford and Elam. Now, when I went and looked at Elam's number, I understand why he's inactive now. He really was giving up a lot. He had the 2 interceptions, but a lot of that was fluff. The interceptions were fluff. He's not ready yet. Benford is hurt, but after Benford, the last couple of weeks, Benford had been giving up almost 75% to 80% of his catches. Completion percentage on his targets. Dane is still pretty solid. I just think that when it comes to Dane, he was the Bills' best corner, but he's not that guy to go against Armand St. Brown. He's not that guy to go against Justin Jefferson. So I think he took matchups that obviously we would normally have Tre'Davious White on, or for at least portions of the game, and it was Dane's responsibility. And mind you, nobody in the league stops those guys. So I think it's an unfair judgment because when you really look at Dane Jackson, the first 6 games of the season, he was only giving up I think 46% completion percentage on his side. So I think if we're going to judge him, we can't judge him against guys like Justin Jefferson and Armon St. Brown. It's just unfair. So do I think he's a bench? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I think it's one of those things that, as a fan base, sometimes we find that person or persons to pick on. I know for us, it may seem like it's Isaiah McKenzie, but I think when you really look at the production and the numbers, it's just not there. I don't think you could say the same thing for Dane Jackson. So, because when he was getting receptions and catches and yards, so was everybody else in that secondary. He wasn't the only one. Yeah. So it was a complete effort for everybody. Major Cole asked one more question before we get off. So do y'all think Isaiah McKenzie gone in offseason with all those drops? And how many years do you think Beasley has left in Buffalo if he's standing against standing? I think this is I'll answer this question. I'll go to James. I think McKenzie's gone, period. I mean, he has no guaranteed money left on that deal. The Bills are going to be cash strapped somewhat, even if the cap goes to 220. I think he's gone, and I think Beasley is I think this is it. This is just a couple final 6, 5, 4 weeks, whatever it may be, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think McKenzie gonna be the first person cut as soon as they're able to cut him. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to see nobody lose a job or get cut, but it's just NFL talk. I think they're gonna release him. Beasley, if he go league minimum, I think they may sign him for another year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he make it 153 next year, but he might. They might.
I think that he's pretty much done with football though. When it comes to Beasley, that's my biggest. I think he's this is his last hurrah. I don't think he wanted to go out the way he was about to go out for, with Tampa, just retiring in the middle of the season. Nobody wants to go out that way.
Yeah.
Especially who loves the game. So I think that he's like, you know what? I'm going to get this right. I'm going to go back. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to take one last shot at this Super Bowl. But I never want to retire and think, what if, or should have I? So I think this is it. And if he doesn't get it, if he does get it, doesn't matter. The rest is it's family time. So, but other than that, man, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. It was a late one. Sorry, Bulls game ran overtime. We're passionate about the Bills, but we also passionate about the Bulls. Maybe do a Bulls podcast later. I don't know. Shoot.
I know, right?
Nothing personal, just Bulls. But no, we thank you guys for always tuning in, man. It was a fun. And we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you sometime next week. See what happens this Saturday. Enjoy the game. If you're in Buffalo and the weather gets crazy, stay safe. If you're going out there, knows you have some crazy ass fans that travel all these games. Please be safe out there and wrap up good. And I wish you health. And and actually too, be safe out there, safe shopping for these holidays. A lot of crazy people out there right now, people rushing. So just pay attention, be aware of your surroundings, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Go Bills! Catch you next week. Peace.